Hey folks, Poster, welcome back to another Poem Master video, and we finally have it! The meme god himself. Ethan has a sync grid, which is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. So, Ethan went from, like, one of the most memed on strikers in the game, even though, you know, Elisa was always worse than Ethan this whole time, but Elisa's cute, so people forgive her, to now out damaging, you know, one of the other most meme dom strikers, but in the other direction, right? Singsu Red on his AoE. But yeah, this is pretty good. This guy's grid is very good. I don't know why people are still making fun of him. He literally out-damaged the one that people, you know, always make memes of being, like, you know, somehow just undefeatable and whatever, right? But, you know, I guess people like making fun of him. I don't really care, either way. But, he's very good right now. So, anyways, let's get into this Synchron. So this Synchron has a lot of really impressive stuff in here. Stuff like Healing Sun, Charging Sun, right? HP Advantage 5, Bob and Weave, Super Duper Effective 1, First Aid, Healthy Healing, Soak Fire Master Healer 2, and Focus Rush is really interesting, especially if you're playing, you know, stuff like co-op that don't need supports and stuff, right? Or not don't need, well, you would need, but no one brings supports. But yeah, Ethan's very good. And what really makes Ethan much better than he already seems on paper over here is that the fact that Lyra got a grid, and Lyra and Ethan work together perfectly. They work together so well. Lyra gives literally every stat after a grid, right? Lyra literally gives every stat that Ethan needs, and Lyra also sets up Sun with her sync move with Rearise, right? Which Ethan could then get that extra 50% on his, you know, fire type move damage eruption, right? Or in addition to getting potentially Healing Sun and Charging Sun 2, and which also triggers Ethan's passive Speeding Sun 2. So yeah, these two work together so well, it's insane. Anyways, let's get into this grid, right? So as usual, let's talk about 1 out of 5 first. 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5 really honestly doesn't have much for Ethan. And as usual, like other 1 out of 5 grids, just pick up everything not named the other attack that you don't ever use, right? I think you pick all that up, and there you go. You got everything that's not Flamethrower, named Flamethrower, right? And, which is some decent stuff. You got, you know, Eruption Move, Gauge Refresh, Soak the Fire MP Refresh, and, like, 2 Eruption Nodes. So, there's that. Anyways, 2 out of 5. You really don't have much stuff here either that I personally find interesting. You'd have, you know, Focus Rush, which is cool, I guess. So you could go in here, pick up again the eruption stuff, more eruption stuff. You get Master Heal on Soak of Fire, which is really nice. And if you want, you go all the way down here for Healing Sun if you're running a sun team, right? And then like maybe pick up, I don't think you pick up either of these, right? Yeah, just pick up some more stat nodes after that. Speed, special attack, or maybe 1 less speed and 1 more special attack. And yeah, if you don't, you know, if not running Sun, then just more other stats, I don't know, or Soak Fire and Refresh if you need that, because Soak Fire and Refresh basically just heals, right, for Ethan, only Ethan, but Ethan does, you know, kind of need heals, and Ethan benefits a lot from heals as a striker, right, because the more HP you have, the more damage Eruption does, so that's always nice. Anyways, I guess if you're also if you're playing co-op and you don't have, you know, anyone to give you a crit, you could pick up Focus Rush as well. Although, like, not a lot of co-op stages last really much longer than after your first sync move, right? Maybe some could stretch you to like the second sync move, especially the Battle Villa ones, right? But you generally don't have that much space to use like 3 sync moves to get 100% crit on this. But again, it's something that you could pick up, right? So, anyways, moving on to 3 out of 5. So 3 out of 5 is where you get all the big stuff. So there's a few different grids that you could build. One is just full offensive power, right? If you like bring efficient enough supports, like the offensive power would be off the charts, right? And that's how he out damages Red on Heat Wave. Or you go with more balanced approach, right? You give him a lot of damage, which I think might still be able to out damage Red. Not by that much. And if you do take some damage, you will go under that threshold. But you have a lot of healing options, and also pick up some healing options, so it's a more sustainable build, which I do personally like a bit more, a more balanced approach to his grid. Or you could go full, I will heal everything, first aid, healthy healing, master healer, healing sun. Just try my best to keep him it's overkill. It's just basically overkill healing. And also you could build something off of flamethrower as well, which is pretty interesting because you do have hostile environment too on flamethrower. And again, all these multipliers, so you could actually make flamethrower work if you want. But anyways, let's first talk about eruption. Pure just damage build. Pick up all this stuff. HP advantage 5, super duper effective 1, and then come down, pick up bob and weave, which is extra 30% as well. And as for the remaining nodes, right, if you don't have any speed issues, then you could go pick up, some more eruption power-ups. If you do have speed issues, right, then you probably would want to pick up the eruption move gauge refresh and then just pick up one of these nodes over here. Afterwards, right, since you won't be syncing, you do not need any of these sync move power-ups, right, if you are running this with Elira, which you probably should, because they, again, work well, work together very well. So yeah, that's what you could do here. This is just full power, right? This is just like, yeah, right? Again, not only out damages Red, this build out damages Cynthia as well on Earthquake, and everyone knows how powerful that Earthquake is, right? So this is something you could go for if you're just going full damage, right? As for some other different builds, you could also do like a damage build, but with in a sun team, right, with healing sun, right? Healing sun, pick up charging sun down there, still pick up bob and weave, and then eruption stuff, right? Eruption power-ups. You know what? Yeah, I probably don't want to pick that up. Maybe super duper effective is probably better here. Not maybe, it's definitely better here. Well, I mean, it's not better if you're not, facing something you're not super effective against, but, as long as you are, then you probably want to pick that up. If not, then maybe that and move gauge refresh if you really need it. But again, there's a few things that and this is why, for a lot of builds, I don't really think eruption move gauge refresh is a huge deal, is because not only are you getting speed from Lyra, you also get speed from speed from Stoke the Fire as well. And also, Ethan has insanely high speed. Something that people don't talk about as much, I think, is the speed that Ethan has, right? Which is very, very high. He also has really good defenses for a striker as well, right? But like this is really, really good speed, and you also got Speeding Sun too, right? So you really, like, in a lot of team comps, you don't have to worry about move gauge refresh that much, right? So you could then go pick up some more damage instead in a lot of these scenarios. So this is something you could run, which again, I do like a lot if you're running it in a sun comp, right? So yeah, that would be very nice. As for some other stuff, in terms of more balanced approach, if you're not necessarily running this in a sun team, you could go pick up like Master Healing over here instead, and then pick up all the other stuff that doesn't really require sun, right? Because again, you do need sun, and when you're running sun, I would say if you're running bob and weave, you have to then run some like here's the thing, like if you're running bob and weave, if you want to get like your max power out of bob and weave, you kind of have to run Lyra as your sun user, which is kind of annoying, right? If you run any other sun users, then you probably don't want to run bob and weave, right? So there are some stuff that you want to make sure that you're working out with Ethan. So you can pick up bob and weave and then pick up healthy healing and master healing if you're not running it with sun, right? Bob and weave does give the most buffs in terms of his damage buffs, even though like all this stuff over here looks slightly more enticing, just because you are wasting like 4 energy here to pick up speed and flamethrower. But again, it's not that much. It just looks like a lot because it looks like the distance is very long, because you're going literally to the other tip, right? But it's only like 4 energy total. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, as for some other stuff, since you're not running it on sun, you might have some move gauge issues. Very, very likely have some move gauge issues. So you probably want to pick up the move gauge refresh over there. And as for the last 6, more eruption power-ups and then more speed and stuff is always nice to have. It's just like, even like you could just build so many different builds, right? If you just want to meme, build like a meme grid with him, just having like the most healing that you can. You could do that as well, right? Come down, pick up like healthy healing, and this guy just has like, first aid 4, healthy healing, mass healer 2, MP refresh on Soak the Fire, and then healing sun. Obviously, you don't want to do that, but it would be really funny if you do. Just watch a striker like, outlive like your supports or whatever. Although most of the time your striker does outlive your supports since your supports get targeted first, but you get my point, right? So, yeah, in terms of like some other stuff you could work with, in terms of Ethan, like again, for eruption builds, there's so many options. There's no way I could go over all the options for eruption builds, right? Just went over a few that I personally like a lot. As for flamethrower builds, you could definitely go pick up, and make a flamethrower build, because you do have hostile environment on that, so it could make a very interesting second option, right? If you're running it with like another fire type striker, like a Hilda or Charizard or whatever other fire type striker that I'm not remembering at the moment, and just make him like a burn / decent damage striker, especially now that type skills are a thing. So you could also give your team that extra, I think what's 30 on offense or something with that a level 4, right? So pick up some more flamethrower stuff. Since you're running it on a 17 or on a fire team, you probably would want to have sun as well. So maybe you could pick these up, charging sun. So like this would actually do some like solid damage, even though you're only using a 2-gauge move on flamethrower, right? And then pick up something like maybe Bob and Weave if you want to do more damage. If you're more concerned about its survival, which is generally more relevant if you're using it not as a main striker, you could pick up like Soak the Fire, MP refresh, or whatever. Drop one of these, or I guess you have to drop 2 of these, I guess drop 2 of these and then pick up Master Healer 2 as well. So a lot of really, really great options. This guy's Synchro is amazing, and he is now no longer a bad meme. So congratulations, Ethan, for enduring all that time to getting memed on and finally actually having a decent grid. So anyways, that's what this one. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know guys think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel for some more Poem Masters content. I'll see you guys in the next one.